Hey everyone, QiQi here. Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to get a YouTube video up, then I realized I never really sit down and chat with you guys at all. So I'm gonna start a new little series called Brunch with QiQi. Where basically I just have a little brunch, sit down, chat with you guys, get you up to date on my life, talk about certain topics. I'm excited. But if you didn't notice in the video, I did whip up some French toast, some strawberries, some eggs, and I have a little meatless patty from Trader Joe's over here. My little quarantine routine that I started is to have like French toast every weekend. I discovered this brioche bread in Trader Joe's, and I feel like you can't do anything else with it but make French toast. It's like too thick to make a sandwich. Now I'm obsessed, so every Sunday I like to just, you know, pull up, make some French toast. Hits the spot. I also, as usual, have my protein iced coffee. I simply cannot have breakfast without my protein iced coffee. Small life update. If you follow me on the gram, you see that I did join the Alani Nu team. I'm so excited and grateful for. Ever since they really launched their business, I've been purchasing them with my own money. I've always had those energy drinks in my house. I always have at least one case here because I'm obsessed with the energy drinks. But they sent me a lot of their products, and pretty much all of their products that I have tried in the past I absolutely love. So when they reached out to me, I was so excited. It's been about a month or so since I quit my last supplement company. Just wasn't a good match. It wasn't. Great products. Anything that you guys see me associate myself with, I 100% do like. I was with First Form for a while, and I still think their products are very good. I just don't think we matched up very well. And then Alani reached out and I was like, yes, duh, put me on the team. I do have a code if you guys want to support me. If you ever make any purchases, you can use my code QiQi at checkout just to support me, or if you're spending over $50, you will get free shipping. So thank you for supporting me. But anyway, let's dive in and have a chat. Today's topic, not class, I'm just throwing on a little bit of syrup. This is Miss Butterworth's. I get the sugar-free one. If you were not aware, I remember when I first started my journey and I started to educate myself on serving sizes, on like condiments like this. This one is pretty low, but the regular syrup, I think for just one serving, which is like a quarter cup roughly, it's like over 200 calories, like 50 plus grams of sugar just in a topping. And I never knew that. You never really think about the things that you're putting on your food, but syrup is a huge one. Today's topic, I wanted to talk about weight gain, specifically weight gain during quarantine. So I knew when, you know, they shut down New Jersey and I started working from home and they closed the gyms, I was like, okay, this is gonna be an adjustment. Just talking about myself, I'm gonna go from really 8-9 hours a day being at work. Even though I work an office job, I'm sitting most of the day, but just those additional steps you're getting in, you know, getting ready, going to work. Even at work, I'm walking back and forth to the bathroom all the time, walking back and forth to meetings, walking to get coffee, to talk to people, talk to friends. On my lunch break, especially in the summer, I would go on walks and, you know, get my steps in. Fast forward to now, all I really have to do is roll out of bed and turn my computer on and I'm at work. So any steps that I was getting in throughout the day were just so minimal. So I knew that there was going to be a huge chance that, you know, not only would I probably gain a little bit of weight, but, you know, I was lifting 5 times a week at the gym, heavy weights, and I was only able to really score a couple of dumbbells, you know, 5-10 pounds. So I knew 100% that there were going to be changes in my body. And of course that stinks, right? Like you worked so hard, months, years, and just, it is what it is. But on the flip side of that, I was just like, it is what it is. We gotta stay home, okay? Health is important. Can't be out there. And I just wanted to bring this up because I feel like a lot of people are being very hard on themselves about gaining weight during this time. I just wanted to chat about it because understand that our lives were just kind of flipped upside down. We were basically forced to stay in our houses. So naturally, yes, our bodies are going to change and there's nothing wrong with that. We are going through a global pandemic. This is the only one I've seen in my lifetime, hopefully the last. And our bodies are just trying to support us through this time. If I lose a little bit of muscle mass, if I gain a couple pounds, it is what it is. I'm not going to beat myself up for that. I just refuse. I never really talk about the beginning of my fitness journey, but when I started my journey, I lost about 60 pounds in I think 7 months. And for those 7 or so months, I was just like so on top of, nutrition and exercise. And I was dropping so much weight because I was still eating a good amount of calories. I think at the time, if my memory serves me correctly, I was still consuming like 2,600 calories a day. And I was exercising maybe 5 to 6 times per week. And then cheat meals, I had one a week, but it would barely be anything. I mean, it would be like maybe a slice or two of pizza, a burger and fries, which is barely even a cheat meal. I would just try to fit it in. So I was dropping that amount of weight because I was just so crazy and on top of my nutrition. I wasn't really allowing myself to be super flexible. And then that next year, I kind of put on some weight because I started working a second job. And I think I put on within that year, probably 20, 30, maybe even more pounds because I stopped going to the gym. I just didn't have the time. I would work my first job from 7 a.m. to 5 and then sprint over to the mall and work from like 6 to 11. And of course, working in the mall, I don't have the willpower to just walk past Annie Ann's like she isn't there, or walk past Popeyes and not get a biscuit. I'm not built like that. I'm just not. And on top of that, I am a stress eater. So that schedule was just really, after a while, really started to take a toll on me. And I was just eating a lot. I would get off that second shift. I remember there was a smash burger across the street. This is back when I ate meat. And I would just stop at smash burger and have a second dinner. And then after that year, I did quit that job and I kind of got back on track, but this time I just did it a little differently and I was just a little more balanced. So instead of being so strict with myself, I was more balanced. I went back to, being more conscious of my nutrition, making sure I was really meal prepping, make sure I wasn't, eating fast food every single night. And then that weight did come back off, but I did it in a way more sustainable way. And now ever since then, I've kind of just, fluctuate probably between like the same 10 pounds if I do put on some weight. That is what's important to me, balance, right? I'm not over here being so overly restrictive and ridiculous that I can barely live my life and I'm not enjoying it, not having fun. I'm also not, having smash burger and Popeyes and Annie Ann's every single day of my life. I have to meet in the middle. Eating it in the middle, still, of course, for the most part, eating nutritious, wholesome meals most of the time. Not being afraid to treat myself or go out to eat with friends and, just finding balance with exercise. Not going to the gym, 6 times a week and making sure I'm doing a bunch of cardio and lifting and doing core and just going overboard every single day. So now I keep my workouts moderate. And I always try to emphasize it is about balance. I say all this to say, over on Instagram, ever since I've had my platforms, I've always had people just make comments about my weight and, oh my gosh, you're so big. Why do you still have so much fat? You work out, you look like you're working out hard. You must eat poorly. Anything you can think of, I've gotten. What I think is happening is that because I'm a bigger girl, people assume that I am on this everlasting journey of weight loss. They see me, they see, I have a little bit more fat than, a lot of the other fitness influencers. Oh, she must be trying to lose weight still. I'm not trying to lose weight. And I know that shocks a lot of people, but like I said, when I found that balance, that is where I wanted to be. What's important to me is living a healthy lifestyle day in and day out, meal prepping, getting my nutrients in every day, moving my body. We have to stop associating working out with weight loss or wanting to change our body. There are so many benefits to working out, getting your steps in, and exercising that are not at all related to what you look like on the outside or how much fat you have. While, of course, having physical goals is fine, perfectly okay, it would be so helpful if you just change your mindset and understand that it's not always about changing your body. When I say this to people on Instagram, I'm like, who said I was trying to lose weight? You're assuming because I'm a big girl that I'm out here, constantly dieting, trying to lose weight. That's not the case. I exercise because I enjoy it. I like to get strong and my body needs it. Our body needs exercise. The type of exercise you do is completely up to you. I personally liked weightlifting. Some people enjoy yoga. Some people enjoy going to Zumba class. Some people enjoy cycling. Some people just enjoy going on walks, going on runs. How you choose to move your body and get that daily exercise in is completely up to you. Which brings me to the bulk of what I'm going to talk about here. Number one, Stop asking people that you see exercising and assuming that they're trying to lose weight. And second of all, specifically this week in general, I got a lot of comments on recent videos I posted of people saying, have you gained weight? You look bigger. People just making comments in general saying that I look like I've gained weight, I look like my body changed, etc. Probably there's a global pandemic happening, the gym has closed, my body is simply not moving like it used to. I will say over these months I have felt, specifically the past few weeks, a lot of the muscle mass in my legs has depleted a bit, and in my arms, and just overall I'm just feeling kind of flat, which again was expected and I was fine with that. It is what it is. And out of curiosity, because you guys, if you don't know, I do not like to step on the scale. I have one in my house, but it's just a little bit too much for me mentally to constantly be checking daily or weekly, because I'll step on and I'll be like, ooh, you're up higher than last week. You might want to pull back on this or do more of that, instead of just living my life and doing what my body feels and giving my body what it wants. I did step on the scale and I am up roughly, since the last time I weighed myself, maybe like 4 or 5 pounds, which to me is like, I'm not tripping over that. Most of our bodies have changed during this time. And I just really wanted to make this video to say it is fine. Do not beat yourself up. Your body is doing its best. Gyms were taken from us. Our daily movement activities were taken from us. And it just is what it is. If I gain a couple pounds, whose business is that? So yes, I just wanted to say that message. I am with you. If you put on a couple pounds or you've seen some changes in your body, it is fine. We should be celebrating our bodies, thanking it, not punishing our bodies or doing anything to beat ourselves up over these small changes that we are seeing over the past few months. So I knew right off the bat, in order for me to not gain weight, I would have probably had to put myself in probably a calorie deficit, which I was not going to do. Dealing with this pandemic and the changes to our lives was already just mentally a lot to adjust to. And I was not about to restrict my calories or tell myself to eat less during this time just to avoid gaining weight. Wasn't going to do it. That wasn't an option for me. So as time went on, I just realized overall, Keeks, you're really not getting a lot of movement here. I kid you not, I roll out of bed, turn my computer on, boom, I'm at work, and I can easily sit there all day and just work. I'm just not getting any steps in throughout the day. If I sit on my butt and work for 8 hours, even if I get, a little workout in after, that really doesn't counteract the fact that I've been sitting on my butt all day. Our bodies do need to move. Our bodies need to get steps in. And it, again, has nothing to do with changing your body or weight loss. It just has to do with overall health in your body and your joints. So I was doing great with moving my body in the beginning. I was doing so well, getting all my walks in, and then like the middle, I was just kind of over it. I said, when are they going to free us? I started to struggle mentally a lot in the middle, so I was honestly just rolling out of bed, turning my computer on, working, and just going to sleep. And then when the day was over, I would just turn the computer off and get to bed and watch Netflix. Because I was just, now I'm kind of in a better space where I'm like, okay, I'm starting to feel like the loss in flexibility, hip mobility, not really feeling my overall self. I'm feeling sluggish, so I started to challenge myself again to get at least 10,000 steps in. So I've been going on daily walks, getting my steps in. And I think that's something that I'm just going to keep doing. And then on top of that, whatever exercise I choose to do, just to get my body moving, get the blood flowing, and keep up my mobility. But in conclusion, I just wanted to make this video and say I'm here with you. We will not punish ourselves or beat ourselves up for putting on a few pounds during this time, okay? If the best we can do is survive, then that is what we will do. Also, and this is not just on the internet, this is just in life in general, stop asking people if they've gained weight. Like I said, it can go for anyone. Family members, co-workers, on the internet, leaving a comment, asking someone, you've put on a few pounds. Have you gained weight? Get a little chunky. I also just can't believe it's 2020 and people still do that. My entire life, always thought that that was extremely rude. Just to approach someone and say like, oh, you look like you've put on a couple pounds. I beg your pardon? My body is my business. You don't need to observe it. You don't need to make any observation. What you're thinking in your head does not actually need to come out of your mouth. It's rude and it's uncalled for. Don't comment on people's weight gain. It's just weird. I can't even emphasize even if it's a friend or a family member, just making a comment like that can be so just hurtful and damaging to that person on their overall health or just their mental health. Because you never know what that person is going through. And to make a comment about their physical appearance, I can guarantee you they probably don't need that. Just to be clear, not to say that in the future maybe I will just decide, you know what, I want to lose some weight again. I want to shed a couple pounds. And I'm going to do that for me when I feel like it, if I feel like it. In conclusion, I just want to tell you guys, I'm here with you. I see you. We are not tripping over gaining a couple pounds and our body's changing during this quarantine. Stop it right now. You stop it right now. And if anyone is bothering you about your weight or making comments, check them. Tell them my body is my business and I would appreciate it if you stop observing it. All right, but that wraps up this episode of Brunch with QiQi. I hope you enjoyed. I did. I'm gonna keep this going. I never sit down and chat with you guys. I don't like that. I don't like that. So let me know down below what topics you want to see me talk about next, and I will dive into it. But thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you at my next video. Bye.